अटैक हुआ है नूर खान बेस पे।
Jacobabad airport में धमाका।
On the 7th of May 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor. A punitive campaign that unfolded over 3 relentless days. In that brief span, India methodically dismantled Pakistan's terror infrastructure, striking with precision and purpose. And when Pakistan dared retaliate, India's response was swift and overwhelming. Over 11 Pakistan Air Force bases were struck, radar sites and command centers were reduced to rubble. The Pakistan Air Force was put to flight.
India again launched missile attacks, Brahmos, and hit Pakistan's various provinces.
Now, the game changer here was a weapon that changed the very grammar of modern warfare.
Brahmos.
A name that's now become synonymous with India's resolve, precision and power.
ब्रह्मोस को तो नाम ही ऐसा है कि सुनते ही कई लोगों को चिंता हो जाती है कि ब्रह्मोस आ रहा है क्या।
Sir, for Pakistan is a free delivery item.
Many of them. We had the president of one of the countries recently for a Republic Day parade, and he says, "I want Brahmos."
Right.
Pakistan Prime Minister Sharif, he's become our brand ambassador because he keeps saying everywhere that Brahmos has been fired upon us.
The Brahmos story began 3 decades ago. Now, earlier in 1991, the Gulf War taught the world that wars of large armies and lines are outdated. Swift surgical strikes are the new order. It was the world's most recent revolution in military affairs, or RMA. Now, for India's scientists watching this from afar, the writing was on the wall. Precision missiles would decide battles. India needed to catch up before others decided for it.
After the Agni test, he told me that we have become the 6th country for doing a IRBM. When will you become first country? So I want to give you a break, he said. So he sent me to Harvard to have a break. That was the time the Gulf War was taking place, and Saddam Hussein's, Scud missiles going, all those things. Then I started studying what has really happened. So Saddam Hussein has made elaborate the air defense system. He was expecting bombers to come so that he can kill the bombers, destroy the bombers. But what the Americans have done, they have used nearly 500 Tomahawk missiles fired from Persian Sea.
Right.
They flew so low and finished up all the radars and the air defense systems. So now I understood that we have missed this type of requirement, cruise missile.
Right.
So I talked to him from Harvard. So when I told him that this is the thing happening, he said, after you come, we will discuss. So after I returned, it was a 3-month course, it was a management course. When I came back, we sat together and then we said we have to have a cruise missile.
The problem was cruise missiles don't grow on trees. Now, the guardrails of geopolitics, technology-controlled regimes, suspicion and fear all barred the way. Now, India needed a partner willing to see beyond politics and into potential.
So he said that Russians have done cruise missiles. We are also thinking of a cruise missile for our ATV program.
Right.
So why don't you go and talk to them? So he dispatched me to Russia. I was anyway going there for the underwater missile design we were doing with them.
Sagarika.
Yes, Sagarika.
Right.
So I was in the team. But still, now he has given this assignment to me. So I went and talked to Dr. Effermo, the Director General of the NPOM. Then initially he was hesitant. Later he said, come, I will show you. Then he showed the engine. He said, this is the only
ramjet engine.
This is the only supersonic ramjet engine in the whole world. German people are asking me the technology we cannot give. The Russian government will not agree. But for India, they will agree. Then when I came back, Dr. Kalam said, he formed a 3-member team. Myself, then Venugopalan is the propulsion expert. Later he became the project director. Then Ramanathan, financial advisor. 3 of us went and discussed the detail and other thing. Finally, we came to the conclusion that design is very, very complex design. And the way they have designed it the booster has to be inside. That means you cannot take only the technology of the ramjet engine. You have to think of booster also. When you have all the propulsion systems, all the control, everything is inside. So finally, we decided we will go for a joint venture so that we will have the full missile, for which the model tests they have already done.
Behind the scenes, India's leadership chose conviction over headlines. Across governments and generations, India never wavered.
Narasimha Rao, Mr. Vajpayee, you see that George Fernandez, Mr. Antony, Pranab Mukherjee, Jaswant Singh, all these people, when I interacted, I found everybody was so cooperative
Supportive of the missile program.
And they stood with me all the time. They stood with me.
Then came 1998. 2 nations, 1 ambition. India and Russia. The Brahmaputra and the mighty Moskva united. Brahmos Aerospace was born.
We grew up as young scientists working with the mill standards, the Western standards, quality standards. When we started working in the factories in the integration areas of Russia, we had to start learning the Russian standards, the Russian methods, the Russian quality methods. Brahmos is now today a very interesting amalgamation of the best of both sides.
Best of both sides, the Moskva and the Brahmaputra.
Yes, it is the best of both sides. The practices, the methods, everything has got amalgamated into the Brahmos way of life, the Brahmos way of working, and which means do things in a jiffy.
In 2001, the integrated test range at Chandipur in Odisha witnessed history. This was the first test of the Brahmos missile, a fusion of Indian systems, engineering, and Russian propulsion expertise. Success promised a leap in India's strike capability, long-range precision, supersonic speed, and multi-platform deployment across land, sea, and air. That's what the Brahmos missile is. It's a universal cruise missile because it can be deployed across dimensions. Now, failure of this test could have undermined credibility. It could have stalled technology transfer and strained the fragile Indo-Russian defense partnership.
Then Arun Prakash declared, we don't want user trials for this missile. We are going to order it immediately. He went to Delhi and gave a letter, 370 missiles I am ordering with you. General J.J. Singh,
who was then Army Chief.
He saw 2 tests and then he declared that this missile, I will use it to go through the window to the bedroom of General Mishra. Seeing that Air Force, the Air Chief Marshal Major, he was the
Palihomi Major.
Yes, he was the chief at the time. He suggested that why don't you give that land version to us? Of course, you develop the air version.
But even a successful test did not guarantee smooth sailing. There were delays, paper jams, there were doubts, skepticism. Could India sustain this? Could Russia trust this? The project almost stalled. But one man's word would change the tide.
One incident I cannot forget. When he issued a decree to support the Rus-Brown export, for all the export activities, any activity being done by any other country other than Russia, our partners got jittery because so far Rus-Brown export was not there in the picture. Suddenly they have been brought in. Now their activities will be very difficult. So they told me that this is the situation, we are helpless. So I went to Kremlin and talked to Putin, that saying that you must make Brahmos, it's your project. You must see that the Brahmos is not affected. You exemption. So even Dr. Kalam did not believe that it will come.
Dr. Kalam was with you for
Yes.
the meeting.
So then he issued, within a week, we got a degree issued saying that Brahmos is exempted from rose brown export.
Right.
So see, like that, every point he used to come in to help us. Same thing happened when the air version came. Air version, I took a stand that air version will be done by India, supported by the Air Force and our Defense Ministry and HAL. We all, as partners, we decided that we will do ourselves. There were many difficulties, inputs were not there, so many things we had to do, but we did everything. That time, the Russians who were upset on me, they went to their president, Medvedev, and told him that we have given a proposal for $250 million and it will be done by us, the modification. If we do it, we have got a lot of export opportunity because the Sukhoi 30 is being used by many other countries. So you must get it done. So the president also said, yes, we will talk. So he talked to Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh was not knowing the background. So he said, yes, we will see that it is done. He accepted with him. When he came back from Russia, then I was given the instruction that I should sign that contract with the Russians. So I said, I will not do it. So we had a meeting. The Shivashankar Menon, Security Advisor, then Brown, Air Chief Marshal, then Mr. Sharma, Defense Secretary, myself, four of us. I gave a presentation for half an hour how I want this to be done and how confident I am. They all agreed. We will only do it. So then the paper was prepared to the approval of...
This is the air-launched version.
Yes, to the approval of Prime Minister. He also said, if you are confident, do it, he said. So that's how the whole thing came. And still, they were not agreeing. They were started fighting.
Russians. Right.
Coming each time, 20 people come, Sukhoi Design Bureau come, and then they try to brainwash Air Force, Defense Ministry, all those things. But there a change took place. From Medvedev, Putin became again. Then this was not working with him. He said, if they want to do it, let them do it, he said.
Right.
The whole thing was finished. This is one occasion. One more thing I will tell you about Putin. The Chinese president at that time, many years before, went to President Putin and told him, what you gave to India for Brahmos joint venture, you must also give that same supersonic technology to us.
Right.
So he said, no, not possible. This is a government agreement. It will not be possible. Then when Mr. Vajpayee went there to Russia, he told Mr. Vajpayee that there was a request from the Chinese president. I have told him no. So Mr. Vajpayee told George Fernandez, who was our defense minister. George Fernandez told me, this is the case happened. So you are protected by President Putin, he said.
From the success of this endeavor emerged a culture that was fast, that was transparent, that was accountable. There were two nations united in one mission. And by 2004, the Brahmos had entered the arsenal of the Indian Navy. And soon, the Army and Air Force followed. Sea, air, land. A triad of precision strike capabilities across the services. By 2010, there were over 50 flawless launches of the Brahmos missile. Now, this is a feat that only a handful of missile programs globally can claim. Each test of the Brahmos pushed the limits. High altitude, low altitude, sea to land, ship to ship, shore to shore. Every success silenced a doubt. The world took notice. Analysts admitted it was a breakthrough. This wasn't just a missile anymore. It was a strategic asset. It was a deterrent. It was a statement. And every export demand, every partner inquiry became a chess move in diplomacy and defense.
One thing is, one view we took. Once the missile is already known outside to the world, India fired a supersonic cruise missile. If you have no hesitation to tell others. So we started showing the pictures of our flight and all those things to Mahathir in Malaysia. It became a big hit for us. Then we went to Abu Dhabi to capture the Middle East market.
Which year?
I don't exactly remember the year, but it was long ago.
10 years back, 15 years back?
Yeah, it's about that. So then during that time, we showed a model, not like this, it's a bigger model, we showed it. And many people came. The president of UAE came, so I discussed with him. He showed a lot of interest, he showed. Then after he went, there's a team of Pakistan with the general leading the team. He was a major general, and with him, the other Air Force and Navy people were there. So 4 of them came. And they wanted to know what is this Brahmos about, what is the type of missile. So my people said that only I can answer to him because of Pakistan. They said, no, he will come. So I was called, then I went there. So he asked, I said, yes, this is a supersonic cruise missile and it has got a capability to go Mach 3 and very accurate. We have done the test. You see the film, I showed the film. So he saw everything. He was very much fascinated. He said, it's a good missile. Do you want to sell to Middle East? Yes, that's why we have come. I say, if you are going to sell to Middle East, will you sell it to Pakistan? I said, sir, for Pakistan, it's a free delivery item.
In 2022, the Philippines became the first foreign operator of the Brahmos cruise missile. Now, this $375 million deal opened the export chapter of India's missile story, with several other nations waiting in queue.
Many of them. We had the president of one of the countries recently for a Republic Day parade. They're very interested. He was the Minister of Defense, and he told me,
yes, Indonesia.
I sent out a ship and it never came back. I want to put something on that ship to make sure that it comes back. That was the statement he made. And he says, I want Brahmos.
Right.
When you come to exports, it's a very, very difficult business to be in. Right. And all of us have seen, watched, heard the different stories and the fallouts and the fall-ins because of defense exports. It's tough. It takes time. And Brahmos is an expensive missile. It's after all technology, so it is expensive. So anyone who wants to buy it needs to start looking at their coffers and do they have the wherewithal to actually support and buy it. Everyone is interested. Everyone looked at the various credit lines we were giving out.
Right.
The people who didn't need a credit line also said that we are interested. The ball has been set rolling for many, many years.
Right.
Talks keep going on. Every exhibition, every visit, it goes on. Maybe legacy, and I was fortunate that when I took over, the final few nails were required and they were driven in. It's an honor to have signed the largest export contract. But I look at it in a little different way. After signing one contract, Brahmos didn't rest.
Yeah.
As a company, we didn't rest and kept at it. And there are so many other people in line. In fact, when the Philippines Marine Corps or the Philippines Department of Defense said we are buying, they were not the ones we thought are going to give us the order first. We thought it would be another country.
Right.
But they somehow managed to slip in and say we need it and we want it, and they were ready to sign it, and it happened. Now what happens is, it being the first order, everyone else stood back because now they needed to see whether India, it is not Brahmos. Brahmos export is being done by Brahmos Aerospace Private Limited. Yeah. But it is India who's exporting.
Yes.
Now, I guess the rest of the nations wanted to watch. Can India live up to the standards of export, and will they be able to execute? When we have started the execution of the order and when we have already started delivering items to the Philippines, the other countries are gung-ho and they are now saying, we want it, we want it. And there have been a lot of visits in the recent past, in the last 1.5 years, 2 years, more in the last five or 6 months also. And it's very clear that we are going to have quite a few nations sitting on our back.
Right.
We've been...
And then the world changed. As global conflicts erupted, supply chains splintered, sanctions bit, many systems slowed, countries reported supply chain issues with Indian products. But Brahmos didn't, because India had built that independence into the program. It was self-reliant by design, not by accident.
Geopolitics always affects everyone.
Right.
Very interestingly, Brahmos does get components from Russia. There's nothing to hide about it. There's no doubt about it. But not even once were we starved of the components for our readiness, for our manufacturing. We have a goal for every year,
Right.
whatever be the number. We have never had a shortfall. Brahmos never had a shortfall in delivering to our armed forces. That is because the supply chain which comes in from Russia has never dwindled or never stopped. In fact, there was a time when it had increased a bit. They are working overtime. They're working 4 shifts a day. They're a country, though they say they're not at war, they're defending their borders.
Right.
But defending your borders means that they need to create their own hardware. They have upped their production rates so that they can take care of their borders and take care of their strategic partner, which is Brahmos, or India and Brahmos. And we've never had a problem there.
Today, the story of the Brahmos missile continues. You have the Brahmos NG, the next generation Brahmos missile. There's research into hypersonic missiles, lighter, faster, smarter, more adaptive. As the battlefield evolves, so does the Brahmos.
Brahmos should go to the submarine launched, that means submarine, should go to the submarine.
Yes.
So we did a test. What we have done, we have taken the pontoon, which was used for Sagariya testing,
Right.
and the launcher we modified and put it in deep water inside, and we fired the missile. See, the missile was configured for submarine version only.
Right.
What we are flying now, testing for land, as well as...
This one.
but today's missile is a submarine missile only.
Right. Right.
Where there is an underwater booster.
Okay.
This has got an underwater booster which fires the canister, the normal land launched.
Yes.
It lifts up. The booster fires above.
Right.
Okay. In the case of water, the underwater booster fires and lifts it up to the surface, then the booster fires.
Right.
So the configuration is same for all versions except the air version.
Right.
It's
Which
the
you've
same.
modified by
Yes.
chopping the
Modified
booster.
Booster and
Right.
many modifications we have done. And we have reduced the weight also.
Yes.
But other than the air version, all versions are same. No change is required. You can borrow from the army and use it in naval ship.
So they're all interchangeable. All of them.
When we started, actually none of us knew what is the capability of this missile. This engine which we picked up from Russia, and its capability was actually 290-300 kilometers. Now, while doing the work, we started understanding there are always some errors which are done, and you learn from errors. And that's when we got to know that it's not 300, it's a little more than 300.
Right.
So, and simulation also tells you that you can play around with these parameters. So that extension was done. But that's one. Then more work was done on shaping plus platforms. And now we are looking at something much higher than that. But today, what we have understood is this particular engine is capable of much, much more. I mean, the Ramjet. The Ramjet is capable of a much larger range.
Right.
It's capable of much larger speeds, almost touching hypersonic.
Which is Mach 5 and above.
4.5.
Right.
4.5 is doable by this particular missile.
So you're looking at a faster Brahmos, which is a lighter Brahmos.
Yeah. So the current Brahmos can move into that realm, going to a faster range. Of course, one needs to do more R&D, a lot of more tests, a lot more blowdowns, a lot more flight tests, which means money. We'll have to see where we get that money from. So that's one range of Brahmos which one can look at. And maybe look at souping it up to make it actually hypersonic. But then that's another step. Though people are already working on hypersonic in other areas, Brahmos says that if you give us 8 years and so much of money, we'll give you a missile, a production-ready missile in the 9th year.
Right.
From today, that is. Well, it's for the MOD and the users to make a decision whether they really want that or they want to go on another side. But NG was conceived with a little different method, the next generation. Brahmos is a heavy missile.
Yeah.
3 tons. I mean, it's an elephant. 3 tons.
It's
even
a
the Su-30.
fast-moving elephant.
Yeah. Even the Su-30 can't carry 3 tons. So when we moved the missile from the surface launch or the subsurface launch of 3 tons, we curtailed the booster because the aircraft is anyway moving at a speed of...
So you don't need the booster for the initial
you don't need the booster,
punch.
that much of booster.
Right.
So the weight comes down to 2.5 tons. And 2.5 tons is a fairly heavy weapon for any aircraft to carry. It's the heaviest weapon or heaviest payload that the Su-30 carries.
Right.
And also one was started thinking of, can we make it so small with the same parameters, 300 kilometers, anti-ship and everything? Can we launch it from a torpedo tube?
Wow.
That means a lot of work, a lot of miniaturization. That is what the NG is supposed to be. Now, whether it's from the torpedo tube or not, because doing a launch from a torpedo tube means a lot more quality requirements, to stringent quality requirements. So the decision was made that we will do an air launch of a missile which is small enough to get packaged into a torpedo tube, but we'll do an air launch. Now, why air launch? Today, Brahmos is carried only by the Su-30. One Brahmos under one Su-30. So the number of Su-30s multiply, and that's the number of Brahmoses you can have in the air at a time from the air launch version. Let's look at a smaller thing which can go under the wing. So we've done the initial design. Right now, the sketch design or the detailed design is on. That is, metal is going to be cut and a lot of experiments being done. 1/3 the weight of the current Brahmos, delivering 300 kilometers and a warhead almost equivalent. Little smaller warhead, but can do the same damage as what the current Brahmos does.
So 1 ton,
300 kilometers.
a 1 ton missile.
1.2 ton.
1.2.
2 ton missile, approximately. The exact numbers are being worked out when you do the design, which can go 300 kilometers and sink a ship. Let's put it that way.
Right.
2 under the wings of an aircraft. Which aircraft? Not just Su-30. The Tejas Mark 2A.
Right.
That's what we are looking at. We will use Su-30 as a launch platform for the tests, but it will finally get onto the Tejas Mark 2. It can be fitted on, once it gets onto the Tejas, that means it's not just a Russian aircraft. We can put it onto any Western aircraft.
Right.
Now look at the market.
Right.
You can see that the market is going to be just hugely wide open. Any Western aircraft, which means
Western aircraft.
anyone friendly foreign country who has an aircraft and wants a 300 kilometer ship killer or a land attack.
Right.
Of course, with a less potency, but still a land attack. 2 of them under each aircraft which they have. We are looking at a seller's market.
A few years back, about 7 years back, we considered that the Brahmos, let's call it the Brahmos Prime, the main one, original one, we can make it a air-to-air version. We did study. And we found that, yes, missile can engage refuelers, then military transport aircrafts, then enemy AWACS.
Right. So-called
Possible.
HVTs, high-value targets.
Yeah, high-value target. You see, there is a very simple thumb rule. If your missile can fly almost, you can say, 2.5, 3 times the speed of the target, then you can engage it. Okay. So the Brahmos was able to engage. I'm not talking about the speed. Let me talk about the G. Okay. Right. So 3 times G. So if it can move, then it can engage any target. It's a thumb rule. So Brahmos can do that. But it needed data link, long range data link. At that time, we didn't have Akash Tir or uh, Indian Air Force air command and control system
IACCS
in place.
too.
Yes, we didn't have.
Your
So-
data link between the missile and
the
fighter
launching
aircraft.
platform.
the launch platform, right?
Yes. So that data link is required because if you are engaging a flying target,
Yeah.
then we need to have data link. So at that time, it was not available. Now we have it. So, but it takes time also. That it will take about 3-4 years. You need to modify seeker.
Right.
You need to reduce the weight of the missile. Then
The missile in
many
its
engineering-
present configuration won't work.
It can be used, but minor, software modifications are certainly required. Let me tell you and your audience that India is capable of undertaking design, development, and production of any kind of missile up to any range of any type.
Right.
We have developed that capability in the last 40-45 years. We have that capability.
Air to air,
Anything,
air to ground,
anything,
ground to air.
any tactical or any strategic missile India can develop.
Right.
We have skill. We have skill, knowledge, equipment, materials, and wish. So anything is possible. We can do that. We have developed this capability. So whenever you say that, can we do this? Can we do that? Yes, we can do anything. But
In the end, the story of the Brahmos is more than just metal and fuel. It is India's confidence. It's carved in speed and precision. From idea to impact, from partnership to power, from resolve to action. This is the Brahmos ki Bhasha. It is a language that the world will be forced to understand, whether they like it or not.